Hi, welcome to Meru Accounting. I'm Rushabh Shah. I'm a chartered accountant by profession, and we have been doing bookkeeping for a lot of clients globally. And the purpose of this presentation is to explain the nuances in bookkeeping and accounting for software industry. So, without wasting much time, let's walk deep into this presentation. So, here are some of the topics which we'll be covering during our explanation. So basically, we'll be covering revenue recognition, expenses, capitalization, intangible assets, deferred revenue, taxation, reporting, compliances, internal controls, and software specific things that needs to be looked into. At the end, we'll also explain you regarding the key performance indicators which are very helpful for reporting of software industry. Uh, Revenue recognition. So basically, the software has got many revenue streams, mainly via licenses, subscriptions, services, etc. We need to decide on what should be revenue policy for recording of the revenue. Um, in order to accurately recognize the revenue, you need to decide on what period that revenue was earned, and that can be recorded in that particular period. In terms of expense, as far as software industry is concerned, there will be many expenses like marketing, hosting expenses, salaries, etc. You need to apply a matching concept for those expenses to ensure that the sales and the expenses both are being recorded at a particular time frame. In terms of capitalization of cost, there are many of the costs which whose benefits are received in the long term. So you need to decide what expenses needs to be capitalized versus what needs to be accounted for expenses. In terms of intangible assets, software industry, there are many assets which are intangible, and you need to look into amortization of those and ensure that those are being amortized at the correct point of time. Moving to deferred revenue and accrued expenses. So basically, what the money coming is, if it's being recorded as a revenue, that's a completely wrong concept. We need to see whether the revenue that has been coming in should be appropriately recorded as an income in that particular accounting period. And that also helps you in ensuring that you are being taxed correctly on your income, because otherwise when the money comes in, and if it's accounted for as a revenue, that would increase the revenue in one particular period and decrease it in another period, which is not the correct. You also need to comply with the tax regulation specific to jurisdiction. If you've got multiple entities in different countries, you need to look at transfer pricing, as well as you need to, on indirect tax, you need to look in what is the indirect tax that needs to be levied on the taxes and various other things. You need to consult your tax assistant for the same. Moving to financial reporting, you need to ensure that the finances are accurate and the balance sheet and the profit and loss account is made in compliance with uh, GAAP accounting. You also, in order to make a good decisions, you need to ensure that you are being analyzing the key performance indicators in the best manner. You also need to ensure that you are complying with the compliances and regulations of the local country where you have been dealing. Moving to internal controls, there needs to be a control in order to ensure that reconciliation is being done correctly. There are processes for expenditure approval, and you also need to ensure that there are software specific things which needs to be considered. Say, for example, a software as a service model and software which is being served as a license, both would have different revenue streams. We need to understand each of the revenue streams, account for that. Other than that, there are various other things which needs to be looked into, like selection of the accounting software tools in order to ensure that you're getting the work in the best manner. And also you need to ensure that there is adequate reconciliation done on a timely basis. We at Meru Accounting, we are expert into bookkeeping for software industry and would love to help you on all your bookkeeping requirements for your software industry. So let's move on quickly with the key performance indicators that are specific to the software industry. So one is the monthly recurring revenue. It helps you to predict what will be your revenue, and it can help you in budgeting and forecasting. Customer churn rate. It helps to measure the percentage of customers who are leaving your company versus those who are staying. So that helps you to evaluate the product quality, the effectiveness, and what needs to be done in order to improve the product. A customer lifetime value is the value which a customer brings over the life of its or entire journey as your customer. So it helps you to decide what can be the spending you can do on the marketing efforts. Customer acquisition cost. Based upon the earnings from customer and its lifetime value, you need to decide on what should be the acquisition cost and what should be the target customer acquisition cost. And then you also need to decide what would be the average revenue per user, so that you can know how to do cross-selling, upselling, and ensure that you're having overall value for your customers. And then in terms of conversion rates, you need to track the conversion rates of your digital marketing efforts. Monthly active users. If you're selling as a license, you need to know what will be the active users, what is the retention rates, and time to resolution of the queries. It helps you to understand that customers are staying happy and they are getting responses quite in time. And then you also need to know what is the bug density and how it is affecting the user performance. You need to leave, after everything is decided, you need to spend up a specific percentage under R&D to improve your product and ensure that you are giving a good and an updated product to your customers. And the last customer key performance indicators which we have thought upon is the Net Promoter Score. It helps you to measure the customer loyalty and ask the customers how would like to recommend you as your company. So yeah, here are all the points which can help you to understand your software business in a better manner and ensure that you have got a great bookkeeping policies and procedures in place. We at Meru Accounting can help you ensure fantastic books of accounts. So do let us know. You can press the bell icon here to subscribe to our more videos, and we are there to help you with any questions you have. Thank you for listening.